Hello, Flosstube. This is my very first video. I will talk about my whips and finishes, and that's probably about all I need to do today. So, my very first finish, the one that started it all, is a little dinosaur. Now I'm going to pick you up so you can hopefully see it better. Sorry about this. Okay, so we've got a little dinosaur. And it is very small, fits in my hand. I bought this for about $4 from a local craft store. I thought it was really cute and that I'd give it a try. And it turned out pretty well. It came with the little frame it came with, and there's just a cardboard back on it. So pretty simple. Has back stitch and fractional stitches in it, so I got to try that out. And found I didn't like it, but neither does anyone else. Okay, so that went pretty well. Then I started going looking for patterns, and I found the Blue-Haired Girl by where it says X squared cross stitch. This is only in black and white, so it probably doesn't look very good, but I really like the picture. I also realized it is a 16-page pattern, I think, so I decided to do another smaller project before I attempted that one. So let me just see how long this is. Yeah, 16 pages. So when I ordered the thread and stuff for that, I also looked for a smaller pattern. So I decided to make this little bookmark. And I did not use the fabric it suggested. I just used some that my husband had laying around from a project he did. I'm going to pick you up again so I can make sure it focuses properly. Sorry about this. Okay, here we go. So the fabric is larger than it ought to be. You can see a lot of, in real life you can see a lot of the spaces, like white is showing through the stitches. And obviously I was not very interested in actually turning it into a bookmark, but it's kind of big for a bookmark anyway. And I also used a really small hoop, which I've ironed it and I can't get the lines out, so no more hoops for me. Right there, hopefully you can see me there. I'm using a little camera, so I can't actually see the image until I'm done and put it on the computer, really. So there's that. Those were my first two patterns. Probably took me a month or two for both of them. Then I got started on my Blue-Haired Girl, and that was last spring. There are a lot of shades of blue in this, and I've completed 3 pages, and I'm just starting on a 4th page, so I'll hold it up. Now here it is so far. I'll put it on the ground, and I'll pick you up so you can see how it looks. I gridded this project. I probably didn't need to grid. I did the whole thing, which is probably not necessary because around the outside there's a lot of places where there are no stitches, and like the middle of her face there are no stitches. But I was a beginner and I had no idea what I was doing. I mean, I still guess I could be considered a beginner, since I have been doing this for less than a year. So I work on this probably most days. And there are a lot of shades of blue. And my sash right now is mostly blue and red that's left over from the dragon bookmark. So here's the whole thing. This is a large project. Here's my hand. But when it's done, it's going to get framed and probably put on the landing of my stairs, since I have a lot of bookshelves and things, so there's not a lot of wall space, and this being a big project, I feel like it would look better from further away, so I don't want to put it in like a narrow hallway or something where you're passing right beside it. Anyway, I am normally a one project at a time type person. That does not extend to other types of crafts. I also knit and spin and sew and do a bunch of other stuff, and usually I only have one project in each medium going on at a time, because otherwise stuff just doesn't get done. However, I have a friend whose birthday is coming up. Well, it actually already passed, but he's not celebrating it till June because he's busy with school. And he's into dinosaurs. And if you're watching, Jesse, you need to stop now because this is a surprise. Anyway, I found this on Pinterest. There was no creator name attached to it. I don't know who to give credit to, but this was for free on Pinterest. It's Godzilla. My friend is very into Godzilla and dinosaurs. So I decided to start it, and it would be really quick. It's only one color, although I've seen people add a little airplane into Godzilla's hand, which I think I'm going to do. But here it is so far. So, you know, I haven't done a ton, but I've done a little bit, and I've only worked on it a couple of times, so it's going pretty good. This one I used different fabric than I have for my other projects. I don't remember off the top of my head what this is called. It's DMC some kind. I just picked it up from Michael's. Thread. So I've got two whips going on, but since one of them is so small, that doesn't really count. It's a gift. Not really breaking my rule. Okay, now the last thing I want to show you is a little kit that I made to keep my odds and bobs for cross-stitching. So like I mentioned, I do sewing, and I have a lot of bits and pieces and stash for that. So I made one of these little books. It's got a ribbon so you can tie it, and it's got pockets for everything. Okay, so I did have this ribbon attached to this elastic, which was supposed to hold pins, but the elastic fell off. Oops. I've got little pockets for my cards. I like to store my thread on cards, so when I'm doing a project I can just find them easily rather than digging around in my box of bobbins. And on the side that's facing me I have all the numbers and codes and stuff, but I guess I shouldn't show that to you guys. And I keep the page of the pattern that I'm working on. And I do have the bobbin for my Godzilla project in here just because it's only got one color, so it doesn't really need a card. And a thing of needles. I don't really need to keep a whole thing of needles in my quick little kit, but I don't know where else to keep them. Got a pair of scissors and needles. I actually attached my pattern to my fabric with a couple of straight needles, or pins I guess, so I can keep an eye on it. So this thing is just made out of some leftover fabric I made from like a Victorian bonnet sort of thing, and some really stiff interfacing, just that keeps it stiff. If I was going to make another one I'd do it completely differently, but this works, so that's all I need. So yeah, I have two finishes, two whips, and my little cross-stitch kit. So I guess that's everything. If there is something you would like to see, feel free to ask me. I don't know how often I'm going to do these, but yeah. Thanks for watching. Bye.